you can grab a quick seat. We're going to do the flag folding ceremony that you requested. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the flag folding ceremony presented to you by the 445th Honor Guard. We are special thanks today because the members of this Honor Guard unit are from our own unit, 445th LRS. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been a symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States, by 13 stripes alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the 13 original colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space while Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. And today our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe, and on the fin flash of aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serve our great nation. The sun never sets on the United States Air Force, nor the flag that we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans have been spared the responsibility to defend freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom of others who have won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude for those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on lands and skies around the world, and it is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve its rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for freedom. We all, let me just read that again, this is very profound. It stands for freedom. We all share in the pride and patriotism we all feel for our country. We cherish its legacy, and as a beacon of hope, the one and all, long may it wave.
For your hard work and dedication for the past 2 years.
Thank you. With that ceremony being concluded, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tech Sergeant George W. Farrell, Air Force, retired. No, there's no microphone.
I'll just have to be loud. I was really gonna opt for just an informal ceremony, but once I saw the flag ceremony once, I said I want one of those flags. Very moving. I made a few of my cheat notes, you know, which I borrowed from speech class, which I still remember. But I wanted to say departing is bittersweet. Kind of didn't want to retire, but I'm starting to have trouble with that physical fitness test, especially when I get to the run. Some of you don't know this, 21 years ago I got in a skiing accident and I have a steel plate in my right hip, so one of the things the surgeon said was you'll get arthritis probably early on in life, and I'm starting to feel that when I run. So, but I needed a medical waiver to get in 2002 because it happened in '96. I was out of the Marine Corps, so I guess I thought I was Evel Knievel at the time. So, but probably wondering what motivated me to go back in after leaving the Marine Corps in 1993. There was a sense of patriotism that I felt following September 11th, 2001. I missed the sense of duty and camaraderie. We recently had a police officer shot, and he was laid out in St. Clair Shores, where I reside now, and I went to the funeral home because you feel that sense of connection through the uniform. So paid my respects there. But I'm also thankful for the leadership. I still call Lieutenant Colonel O, because Oleg, it's too hard to pronounce.
I second that.
But I also want to thank the great mentors that I've had. Sergeant Reel, he put this together, which is pretty awesome. Sergeant Ryan, Sergeant Holbrook, and Sergeant Pace. I want to talk a little bit about family. You see my direct family here in the front row, but I consider most of you extended family. But you don't really feel it until you're up here. But I'm gonna miss all the people, but not the 4 to 5 hour drive from Michigan every month. I also like to think of it as the Great Selfridge Revolution, because when I left Selfridge, I brought with me Sergeant Tevis Williams and Mike Shepard, who are sitting back there. And I would like to think of myself as the ringleader of that revolution. So I have some advice to those at the start of their military career, because I went in '86. A lot of you weren't even born. Dream big, because even if you don't attain it, progress is still made. For example, I give an example here. I wanted to earn an officer commission, but despite not earning it, I still made it to tech sergeant. So a little progress is better than none at all. And I also want to keep this fun and lighthearted. So think of the song High Hopes, Frank Sinatra. Just what makes that little old ant think he'll move that rubber tree plant? Anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. So anytime you're getting low, instead of letting go, just remember that ant. Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant. So an ant can tip it over. Anyone can do it. But be willing to step out of your comfort zone. What that means is I'd probably still be a staff sergeant if I didn't transfer units. And my old unit was only 17 miles to the front gate from where I live. And instead I opted to drive the 242 miles to Dayton and everything. But the payoff is I've gone on some fun trips, I met some amazing people, and I got promoted to tax sergeant. So. And third, I want to say avoid negative people because that can be a real dampener. Surround yourself with positive people. Find a mentor. If you see someone that's a positive role model, seek them out. And then fifth point, be a mentor or a leader. If you are, and this is something I found out, I was interviewing with a Navy officer because I was going to transfer from the Air Force to the Navy and try to get a commission as a supply corps officer there. So Captain McDonald says, "What is leadership in your definition?" And I said, "Well, leadership." And he goes, "Well, no, what is it to you?" And I had to think about it. And he goes, "More than likely you are a leader if you got kids because you're setting an example for your children. So believe it or not, you're actually a leader. You have leadership within you and you don't even realize it." So I went back and read some books on leadership, and he did a follow-up interview. He goes, "So did you do what I suggested and read 3 books on leadership?" I said, "Sir, I read 6 books on it." He goes, "Man, you really want this." I'm like, "Yes, I do, sir." But despite not getting the commission, it's, hey, we're still leaders. We still have it in us. My 6th point is have faith. And I like to compare it to trusting in a higher power. And I compare it to the Scottish runner Eric Liddell in the 1924 Olympics. The film Chariots of Fire was based on him. And this is a quote from the movie, and I had it laminated, and it sits in my cubicle at my civilian job, but I decided to bring it in and show you all. And it goes something like this. Should I do a Scottish accent? Like Eric Liddell? "You came to see a race today, to see someone win. It happened to be me. But I want you to do more than just watch a race. I want you to take part in it. I want to compare faith to running in a race. It's hard. It requires concentration of will, energy of soul. You experience elation when the winner breaks the tape, especially if you've got a bet on it. But how long does that last? You go home, maybe your dinner's burnt, maybe you haven't got a job. So who am I to say, believe, have faith in the face of life's realities? I would like to give you something more permanent, but I can only point the way. I have no formula for winning the race. Everyone runs in her own way or his own way. And where does that power come from to see the race to its end? From within. Jesus said, "Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. If with all your hearts you truly seek me, you shall ever surely find me." If you commit yourself to the love of Christ, that is how you run a straight race. So, didn't want to get choked up, but I'm a little bit choked up. Be grateful. So, this is my point 7. So, your troubles will